Shalom. I want to start out foremost by giving all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakadish. Salutation to the elders and apostles of GMS groups and ones alike teach 100% true. Shalom, Barakathum to them. Double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS groups and ones alike teaching 100% true. Shalom, Barakathum to them for their edification and knowledge. And foremost, give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakadish. Today's lesson is going to be on different verses. This is Isaiah 9, 5, and 6. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise, and the garment is rolled in blood. But this shall be with burning in fuel fire. Relates to the nuclear missiles. 6. For unto us a child is born, and to us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulders, and his name shall be called the Wonderful Counselor, and the Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. It relates to the government of the promised son, which is the son of Yahweh, which is Yahweh Shai. Let's talk about Yahweh Shai. 89. We'll read 89, Psalms 89 through 14 through 16. Justice and judgment are the habitation of thy throne. Mercy and truth shall go before thy face. Blessed is the people that know the joyful sound. They shall walk, O Lord, and in the light of thy countenance. 16. In thy name shall they rejoice all the day, and in thy righteousness shall they be exalted. It relates to remembering the covenant with David and the sorrow for the lost blessing. It relates to the nation of Israel. I'm going to read Wisdom of Solomon 4, 3, 5, and also Wisdom of Solomon 4, 11, and 12. But the multiplying brood relates to a family of young animals, particularly your offspring. Read that again. But the multiplying brood of the ungodly shall not thrive, nor take deep rooting from bastard slips. That relates to not being stable or stabilized, like the tree's roots. The tree's roots, if the roots are not grounded and grounded, then they're not going to be stable, pretty much. And that's how the nation of Israel were. They were unstable. Right? All right, number 4. For they flourish in branches for a time, yet stand and not last. They shall be shaken with the wind, and through the forces of winds they shall be rooted out. Pretty much not grounded. The imperfect branches shall be broken off, their fruit unprofitable, not ripe to eat. Ye meeting for nothing. This is number 11. Ye speedily was ye taken away, lest the wickedness shall alter his understanding, or deceit beguile his soul. That relates to being snatched away from the evil, being perverted by the understanding, and that deception pretty much corrupted it. You know what I mean? Pretty much the deceit, the evil, the deception, and the perversion that ultimately that will corrupt that soul. You know. All right, number 12. For the bewitching of naughtiness doth obscure things that are honest, and wandering of concupiscence, which means a strong lust, concupiscence, a strong lust or desire, shalaki on that, doth undermine the simple mind. We'll read that again. The bewitching of the naughtiness doth obscure the things are honest, and wandering of concupiscence doth undermine the simple mind. And that relates to even the most innocent person or even good person can be deceived or even destroyed by sinful thoughts. You know what I mean? So basically, pretty much anybody can be compromised relating to the influences relating to ultimately, which will lead down the path to sin. Shalaki on the pronunciation. Now, the bewitching means the enchanting or delightful. A person who works purely on the material reward. Let's continue on. This is Job 14:5 and 7. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. Basically, it's an appointed time and season, and it's not going to go beyond what was set relating to that time, season, and that date. 6. Turn from him that he may rest till he shall accomplish as a hireling his day. Hireling is basically a person who's employed to do menial work. A hireling. For there is hope of a tree, if it be cut down, that it will sprout again, and that the tender branch thereof will not cease. And I talk about the pretty much Job speaking of life's woes, relating to Job 14. Speaking of the life's woes, the hardships of relating to life's woes. I'm just doing various verses. This is 51 Jeremiah 1 and 2. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind, Number 2. Then I will send Babylon fanners that shall fan her and shall empty her land. For in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. This relates to ultimately pretty much the utter and destruction of Babylon. Now, fanner relates to something that fans like a wheel, a fanner. Fanner, one who fans, or a fan wheel, blows. And that winds ultimately, those destructive winds ultimately talks about the nuclear missiles, man. Because that's the ultimate destruction, how it's going to be destroyed ultimately. So it's talking about that destroying wind. So that's part of that destroying wind and fire that relates to the nuclear missiles. And also judgment is in other ways as well. Jeremiah 2:33 and 35. Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love? Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways. 34. Also in thy skirts is found the bloods of the souls of the poor innocents. I have not found it by secret search, but upon all these. Yet thou sayest, because I am innocent, surely his anger shall turn from thee. Behold, I will plead with thee, because thou sayest, I have not sinned. That relates to Yahweh's case against Israel, man. This is on Colossians 3:24 and 25. Knowing that of the Lord ye shall receive the reward of the inheritance, for ye serve the Lord Hamashiach. But ye that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which ye have done. And there is no respect of persons. The Lord is not a respect of persons, man. And that talks about the character of the new man, man. Character of the new man. Relating to that spiritual man. This is Matthew 5:14 and 16. Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. The light of the world is the nation of Israel. They that light. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel or on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. That light also represents that spirit, because that spirit is your light. You know what I mean? This relates to the believers of the salt and the light. That relates to the nation of Israel. They the salt of the earth, and they're their light. You know what I mean? That shines bright, relating to their spirit, and ultimately because who they are. I'm going to read this is Malachi 3:18. Then shall ye return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serve Yahweh and him that serve not. It relates to the difference between the righteous and the wicked. For one's going to actually serve and the other is going to not serve. Now the optics, you can have ones that present themselves optically to present themselves and look like they serve, but realistically and the heart and spirit and mind, they don't. For example, if that would be these celebrities that so-called say they are woke to this truth, realize saying they knowing they're Israelites, but that's all they know, because hypothetically, use celebrities example, they only can go but so far. You know what I mean? You can't eat off the same table. You can't eat off Yahweh's table and the table of manna. I'm paraphrasing. Basically, you can't eat off of two gods, man. You gotta either one or the other. Either you're gonna serve Yahweh Bashem Yahshua, or you're gonna serve manna, which is pretty much of the world, or the God of the world. So relating to the celebrities, that talks about they know certain things, but they're not going to go beyond that, because they don't want to lose their benefits, they don't want to lose their material benefits, money, their riches, because they know certain things. They probably inform, for example, I'm going to use this example. They probably say, you are the chosen people, but that's all you're going to, that's all you know that, but beyond that, you're not going to do anything or else. So basically, the celebrities, they have their bounds of where they're not going to go beyond, because they don't want to jeopardize their interests, and their interest is these what they made a covenant with on this side, because their consolation prize is on this side. So they're not going to jeopardize their benefits and goodies on this side. All right, I rambled enough. Too much. All right, let's continue on. Let's go to Job 12, 16 and 17. With him is strength and wisdom. The deceiver and the deceived and the deceiver are his. So both are his. They all his. Everything is the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahshua's. He leadeth counsels away, spoil, and maketh the judges fools. Now ultimately relates to Job answers his critics for that chapter. I'm going to do, let's read this one here. Matthew 24, 14 and 18. And the gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all the nations. And that's what's happening now. The word's been spread out all four corners. Ultimately, when it's completed, then the end comes. And that relates to preaching the word. That's what the prophets doing, preaching the word, prophesizing to seal the elect. Continue on. 15. When ye therefore shall see the abominations of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place Whosoever readeth, let him understand. Then let him which be in Judea flee into the mountains. 17. Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. Neither let him which is in the field return to take his clothes. That relates to the end times. You know what I mean? The signs of the times and end of the age. End of the age relating to Esau's rulership and empire. And this relates to the times of great tribulation too, as well. Now, this word supplant, this what Jacob is. He's the supplanter. Supplanter is one who supersedes and ultimately replaces. 2nd Ezra 6 and 9. For Esau is the end of the world and Jacob's the beginning that follows. So Jacob's going to take over. Jacob's going to take over as Esau pretty much to his end. When Esau ends, Jacob's going to rise up and take over and continue to take over. Example of that, Jacob replaces Esau. That relates to that. Those verses were actually 2nd Ezra 6, 7 through 9 talks about the dividing of time, relating to pretty much one kingdom goes down permanently, and another one rises permanently forever. That relates to Jacob. I'll go ahead and read Philippians 2 through 4. Fulfill ye my joy that ye be like-minded, having the same love, being of one accord of one mind. Let nothing be done through strife or vainglory, but in the lowliness of mind, like each esteem. I'm going to read it again. I'm just going to read it over again. Fulfill ye my joy that ye be like-minded, having the same love, being of one accord, of one mind. 3. Let nothing be done through strife or vainglory, but in lowliness of mind, let each esteem other better than themselves. And that's humility. Look not every man on his own things, but every man also on the things of others. And that relates to humility, selflessness, because it's not about us, man. It's about others. And that relates to unity in humility and being ultimately selfless, man. You know, relating to this truth is really about the truth. It's not about us. We're just the vessels to implement ultimately what has to be fulfilled according to prophecy, as far as pushing it out, the word and the knowledge of it. That being said, this was something something short. I hope it helped. Hope it helped someone. I pray it did. I'm going to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushua, Ba'Shem Rakadish. Salutation to the elders and apostles of GMS groups and ones alike, teaching 100% truth. Shalom, Barakathum to them. Give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushua, Ba'Shem Rakadish. Wada Shalom, thanks.